distressing situation there in Ukraine. The battle for Putin's top target, Kyiv, is on right now. It's day 16 of the invasion of Russia, and attempts are being made by the Russian forces to enter Ukrainian capital Kyiv from Irpin and Brovary. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces are fighting back, and efforts are being made to stall the Russian advances. Ukraine troops have destroyed 5 Russian tanks in Brovary and claim to have killed 30 Russian soldiers, including a top Russian commander. Ukrainians are battle ready with tanks, infantry, fighting vehicles and troops with anti-tank guided missiles deployed as the bone-chilling -5 degrees centigrade at the city checkpost. The Ukrainian capital is bracing for a major Russian assault in the next 24 to 48 hours. India Today's Gaurav Sawant filed this report from the front line of the active war zone in Brovary.
This is the Brovary area of Kyiv. At this point of time, you see this is an active combat zone. This is an active war zone. There is fight going on between the Russians and the Ukrainians here. A Ukrainian force has just destroyed some Russian tanks, and you can see some of these armored personal carriers are coming this side. We are stopping here. We are trying to go ahead, but the situation here is extremely grim at this point of time. There is a twin-pronged attack that's happening on Kyiv even as we speak. One from Irpin and the second here from Brovary side. Here, certain tanks have been destroyed of the Russian army. It is being said that a Russian regimental commander has also been killed. The battle is intense. You can hear shelling in the backdrop here. Some of these forces are coming back. We are trying to get more details about the operations that are taking place. No vehicle is permitted beyond this point because there's shelling going on beyond this point here in Kyiv. But the twin-pronged attack on Kyiv now is extremely significant because the Russians are now closing in, with talks having failed between Ukraine and Russia in Turkey. The situation taking a turn for the worse virtually every second by the second. With cameraman Pawan Kumar in Kyiv, Ukraine, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
Ukraine war rages on its 3rd week now. Both sides continue to fight the battle fiercely. Russia too pays the price of invasion as Ukrainian forces killed Russian tank commander Andrei Zakharov, who received Order of Courage award from Putin, in fact, in 2016. He's become the 3rd top Russian military commander to be killed in war. Take a look.
Armed to the teeth, tough, ruthless, the Russian military is one of the most intimidating forces in the world. But the Ukrainian resistance has been equally fierce. The war is in its 3rd week. Ukraine has inflicted enough injury on the aggressor. On Thursday, a key commander of the Russian tank regiment, Colonel Andrei Zakharov, was eliminated in Kyiv after a heavy fight. Zakharov was a recipient of the Order of Courage from Putin himself in 2016. This is not the first high-profile casualty for the Russians in this war. In a fatal blow to Russia's crack special forces, Major General Vitaly Gerasimov, the Chief of Staff of the 41st Army, was killed in Kharkiv. Russia also lost the head of the 7th Airborne Division Major General Andrei Sukhovetsky. A war hero, the general's loss is being seen as a bitter blow to Putin's crack units. A sign Russia's assault isn't going to plan.
The key difference now between the Ukrainian and the Russian forces is the morale component. The Ukrainians have fought very well and morale is very high, and that is infectious. And it is clearly not just between the Ukrainian professional soldiers, but also the Ukrainian civil society as a whole. They see this as a fight for national survival. And on the Russian side, morale is very low.
The death of the highly decorated veterans could be a major demotivator for the Russians and a morale booster for the Ukrainian defenders. With Gaurav Sawant, Rajesh Pawar and Geeta Mohan in Ukraine, Bureau Report, India Today.
Ukraine said there has been no progress in achieving a ceasefire in Ukraine during talks with the Russian counterpart in Turkey. This is the fourth round of talks that have failed, in fact, to reach a breakthrough between Russia and Ukraine. The disappointment that continues.
Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba said no progress was made on achieving a ceasefire in Ukraine in talks with his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov on Thursday. Hosted by Turkey, they were the first high-level talks between the two countries since Moscow invaded its neighbour. Kuleba told reporters the most critical situation was in the southern port of Mariupol, but that Lavrov did not commit to a humanitarian corridor there.
I want to confirm once again that Ukraine did not surrender, is not surrendering, and will not surrender. We are ready for diplomacy. We are looking for diplomatic solutions. But while there are no such solutions, we will be dedicated.
Не здається і не здасться. Ми готові до дипломатії.
By sacrificing ourselves to defend our land, our people from Russian aggression.
Віддано, самовіддано, жертвуючи собою, захищати нашу землю, наших людей від російської агресії.
Lavrov said Moscow wanted what he called a friendly, demilitarized Ukraine and reiterated a Russian demand that Ukraine should adopt neutral status. Russia has presented proposals to Ukraine and wants a reply, he said. Kuleba said Russia was demanding Ukraine's surrender. Lavrov said President Vladimir Putin would not refuse to meet with his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky, but the meeting would have to be substantive and focus on specifics. Russia's invasion, which it calls a special military operation, has uprooted more than 2 million people. The United Nations says it's the fastest humanitarian crisis in Europe since World War II. Lavrov said the proper venue for diplomacy should be Belarus, an ally of Moscow that has hosted several rounds of lower-level talks. They have so far yielded only limited progress on opening up humanitarian corridors.
A day after 4 landslide victories for the BJP in UP, in Uttarakhand, in Goa and Manipur, the party is back to work. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be in Gujarat starting today for a 2-day visit. The Prime Minister will be holding a roadshow in Ahmedabad and address a rally of over 1 lakh elected representatives of panchayat bodies. Remember, Gujarat is slated to go to polls in December this year. During his 2-day visit, the Prime Minister will also inaugurate the Khel Mahakumbh sporting event and address the first convocation of the Rashtriya Raksha University in Gandhinagar.
After the results of the election from the 5 states, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in his own turf, that is Gujarat, for a mega show for 2 days. On 11th, he will reach Ahmedabad airport, and from there, he will have a mega road show which will include over 1 lakh people, and that mega show will be from Ahmedabad airport to BJP office Kamlam in Gandhinagar. After that, he will be meeting the senior leaders. After that, in the evening, there's a mega show at the GMDC ground where we are right now present. Look at the visuals over here. There will be the officials from the Gram Panchayat, Taluka Panchayat, District Panchayat, and all over 1 lakh people will be present over here. The security checks are continuously being done. Where we are right now present, this is the stage where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be addressing the people. There will be over 1 lakh people who will be here at the GMDC ground. And let me tell you, this is the beginning for the state assembly elections which will be happening in the state of Gujarat in December this year. So a very important event at this particular GMDC ground which will be happening in the evening on the 11th. And there is also saying from the BJP sources that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be meeting his mother as well. On 12th, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be giving a speech, a convocation speech in a university, after which again there are several rounds of meetings with the top party leaders from the BJP state, from the Gujarat state, for the address and how to go about for the upcoming elections. And in the evening, there will be a sporting event which is happening after 2 years at the Sardar Patel Vallabhbhai Stadium. So mega event for the 2 days, and all preparations are in full swing. With camera person Sajid Alam, this is Saurav Akhtania in Ahmedabad for India Today.
Well, that report brings us to the end of this edition. For all news and updates, do log on to our website as well. That's indiatoday.in. You can also download the app. Thanks for watching.